Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU.
Hello, beautiful people. Another episode, another reason to love your HBCU. Let's get to it. I have Dasan Onyx Frazier. He is a proud alum of Morehouse College. Dasan, I said let's get to it.
Talk to me.
I want you to rate your alma mater on a scale of 1 to 10. This is how we're starting.
Okay.
Yes, this is how we're starting.
If I had to be honest, I would probably say an 11. If I had to be honest, I'm gonna probably go 11.235.
Yeah. 11.235 out of a scale of 1 through 10.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think anybody who is listening to you is going to be surprised because that's just how Morehouse men speak that I've come in contact with. But explain your score. Explain the 11.2. Explain it.
So the reason that I came up with this score was due to multiple reasons, right? Reason number one is just when we talk about prestigious Black men, right? We talk about the best of the best. We talk about Martin Luther King. We talk about Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, John David. I just did you know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about some of the most prominent historical figures in the game. They all came through the house, you know? So it's levels to this. And Morehouse just sits at the highest spot. You know, I'm not saying there's not other great colleges out here. I'm just saying when we're talking about the best of the best, it's Spelman. Shout out to my Spelman sisters, okay? And then Morehouse is right. And then we love the little cousins that come after that. You know what I mean? But we talk about the best of the best right now.
He said the little cousins that come after that.
Come on.
Father Lord in heaven.
We love the fam. You
know?
No. Morehouse was a great experience, though. Yeah, we could get into that. But it was
we will.
The best experience for me in my situation. So for me, it was 11 out of 10 because of what it instilled and you know what it brought to my life and how it helped elevate me as a young Black man and just a leader. You know?
So you 11. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it. I'll take it, and I'm sure every Morehouse man was like, "That's right." I know that's what they're saying right now. I know that's what they're saying. Dasan, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you graduate from Morehouse? What was your major while you were there? We're going to get into the conversation about the decreasing number of young Black men in college soon. Granted, Morehouse is all men, so your perspective might be a little bit different, but nationally, we are grappling with some numbers here. But tell us about you.
Well, my name is Dasan Onyx Frazier, like you stated before. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? That's a little different. I know y'all haven't or don't know too many people from out there.
Especially those who are Black.
Come on, talk to them. I don't know too many, you know what I mean? But I know enough. It's me and my family. That's what I do, though, okay? I graduated from Morehouse, quite a little while ago, back in 2022. 2022 has been a minute, so I'm getting up there. You feel me? But I majored in business marketing, and what was after that?
That's it. I just wanted to hear what did you do while you were at Morehouse? Your major.
Yeah, so let's take it back just a little bit before we even got to Morehouse, right? I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Absolutely.
Family is one of the first 85 Black families to be, to reside and set up in Minneapolis or in Minnesota. So my great grandfather was the Bishop of Minnesota as well. I come from a family of athletes. My family owns a boxing gym. My great grandfather was a pro boxer. My father was a pro boxer. My uncle is currently a pro boxer. You know what I'm saying? My father is actually one of the USA team Olympic coaches for boxing, right? So I got the opportunity to go out to Paris this last summer and see what that was talking about. And it was amazing time. LA 2028, y'all better be ready because, you know, it's a great experience. So I grew up boxing and just playing sports. Football was my thing though. After boxing, I kind of just honed in on football, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do to get to college until I was over it, right? And so my main goal was to get a scholarship, and that's how Morehouse came about in a nutshell. Got the football scholarship to go to Morehouse, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And I almost messed up on that because I had a mindset at the time of I'm not going anywhere where I don't get a football scholarship from, right? Which is crazy because you could miss out on your blessings, right? But I felt like I put the work in enough that I could do that. And God ultimately had the final say so on that and allowed me to get a football scholarship there. So my first time coming to Atlanta, Georgia was when I was 17 years old, right when I went on my official visit to Morehouse. I got the scholarship the next day, committed that same day, and signed a week before, got the offer a week before signing day and signed on signing day. And the rest was really history. Best decision I made in my life. So I came out to Atlanta when I was 17 because I'm one of them younger guys. You know, my birthday's in August, so you know the way the school year aligns, it was just different on that. So when I came out here, I was shocked really to see all these young black, you know, people that look like me, but not only look like me, had a drive and an ultimate goal to want to go to school and better themselves. Yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know,
Wow.
I'm on
Wow.
the right track, and God definitely set me up for success on that end. My time at Morehouse was amazing. Like just really just being able to be independent, right, as a young adult, but still be sheltered in the sense of I'm at school and I don't have to go out and be in the real world yet. You know,
Sure. Sure.
that was a time that helped build my confidence as a young man and you know just learned a little bit more on how to navigate in this world. And yeah, so it's just been amazing experiences. And I tell all the young guys and you know young ladies that's back at the crib or that's not used to growing up around these HBCUs, or just knowing that an HBCU could be the best decision you ever make in your life, to be able to be the majority for a period in a good sense of time, and just find yourself, you know. So that's how
You said a lot.
my
You
time
said a lot.
at Morehouse in a nutshell, you know.
You
Yeah.
said a lot. You said a lot I wrote down notes. I'm always taking notes when people are talking.
Okay.
And you flipped the script on me. I typically ask, give me your college selection journey, and you just gave it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yours was an amazing one. You said something that I want us to focus on for 2.5 seconds.
Okay.
And that is, you almost blocked your blessing because you were only going to go to a place that was going to offer you a football scholarship.
Right.
So I do want you to actually share with us. You've told us how you picked Morehouse,
Right.
but there's several other HBCUs that you could have gone to.
Right.
So why this honing in on it's going to be Morehouse or bust?
Honestly, man, the story is really deeper than like it's a story for real. So
Can we
Morehouse
hear it?
essentially chose me, right? Stump the Yard, my favorite movie ever. Like
Okay.
my number one favorite movie, just because of you know how it's had an impact on my life. You know, shout out to Will Packer. I actually just finished reading his book. It's a great book. Who
Nice.
better than you? But
Yes.
he's the creator of this movie, Stump the Yard, and I'm one of those guys. I will watch a movie, especially if I like it. I'll watch it every day to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like it's so I'm watching it, you know, and but around this time is you know I'm choosing my college. I'm getting close to seeing where I want to go to college. And this particular night that I watched it, I seen what they was doing at their college, and I'm like, man, I want to go to a place just like that.
Yeah.
Truth University, man, that looks like a great college. So I, did my research this next morning, like, yo, where was Stump the Yard filmed at? And it said Clark Atlanta University and Morehouse College. And so I was like, man, I think that's a spot where I want to be at, So I had the opportunity. I wanted to I told my mom, I said, Mom, I wanna go to Morehouse, right? And it's so funny because she had just asked me like a week before this, like, what about Morehouse? Like, we just naming off colleges on where I want to go and everything like that. And she was like, Morehouse. And I was like, Morehouse, that's all men. I need to be in the class with some women. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, nah, Spelman across the street. And this is the mindset of a lot of young folks that don't know. They think like, oh, it's a school with just all men that, you're not gonna see no women. That could be the most far thing from the truth. And I'm glad that I got to experience it, right? So I actually had my senior year, I only had one class at Morehouse, and the rest of my classes was at Spelman and Clark, because you can cross-register just like they can come into your classes. You know what I'm saying? So that I just want to let that out there for the people that don't know, and that's kind of, I don't know if I want to be there. You can cross-register. Clark, Spelman is literally, you look outside your window right now, your next door neighbor. That's how close it is right now. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and knock that out. So I was like, nah, I want to be in class with all dudes. I need some girls to help me with homework, this and the third, right? Okay, cool.
Wait,
Wow.
pause. Did you just say I need some girls to help me with my homework? That's what I just heard.
Yeah, let's not act like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm a football player. I need some help. I need some tutoring. I needed it. I still got it. We still
No
passed.
comment. No comment.
Hey, it is what it is. It's how you got to use your resources, okay?
You've got
That
to
was
use
one
your
of my
resources.
Hey,
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So I spin the block back, and I was like, Mom, I wanna go, and I wanna be at Morehouse. And she was like, well, I just asked you want to go there, and you said you didn't want to go there. And I was like, nah, this is why I want to go. She was like, why? I was like, because it got a great business program. I'm just making up stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I was interested in, business at the time. And she was like, well, are you sure? She hit me with that black mom, are you sure? And I was a little hesitant, like, I think so. And I was like, yes. And she was like, all right, let's go for it. So what ended up happening was, for 2 weeks straight, me and her was tag teaming on, finding these coaches' emails and just different people emails within the at Morehouse, the institution.
Yeah.
And I would send, she'll find the email for me. I get the email, I email them, and I send them my tape through Twitter on Huddle. Like, I send them my tape. Like, yeah, for 2 weeks straight, every day we was just sending it back to back to back. And what ended up happening was, on that second week, the athletic director, shout out to Andre Patillo, man, I love that guy. He hit me back, and he was like, man, you know what? You've been real persistent. I'm gonna send the tape to the coach, and coach gonna reach out to you. That's all I needed. Next thing you know, coach hit me on the phone like, hey, how you doing, son? We getting kind of late in the recruiting process, but, if you could get down here on a visit, we had something for you. And so that's kind of how that went. But just to bring it back even a little bit more, since I'm telling the story, I got to tell the whole thing. And my great-grandmother, the first lady to the bishop, right? She always used to preach to the grandkids on how they needed to go to Morehouse because this is what built, positive Black men, right?
Wow.
And so, me just being the oldest great-grandchild, I never really heard that conversation directly from her, but I always heard it because my uncle went there. So it was always subconsciously in the back of my mind. You see what I'm saying? And so she ended up passing my junior year of high school. And so I always say that it was her that made all of this really transpire in my life. Like, she made this happen. Like, my angel, she was watching over, and she made that happen. But the things that happened in between was just a part of the process. And of course, God. But yeah, God used her. And so that's how I really ended up at Morehouse,
So I tell you what I love about your story, right? You didn't start with your great grandmother. You started with Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
And the reality is there were so many dots connecting without you even knowing that those dots were connecting. That's what makes that story really deep for me. Because you did not know you were going to end up at Morehouse. Granted, your uncle had gone, your great grandmother had spoken about it,
Right.
but then you watched Stomp the Yard, and here we are. So I love the way it seems these little reasons, but also really deep reasons brought it all together. I
Right.
absolutely
For
love
real.
that.
Absolutely.
I love.
Absolutely.
You know what that tells me? There are no real mistakes.
At
Go
all.
ahead and make the decisions you're going to make regardless, because for those who do believe in God, it's all part of that journey and that pathway to you getting to your destination, even if you don't like what it looks like in the meantime. The other thing that you said that I'm like, I hope as many of the young ones, like you would call them, would listen to: if you want something badly enough, be persistent.
Go get it.
Dasan was persistent, and look at where it got him. I love it. I love your story. All right, Dasan, I'm going to shift gears.
Okay.
I'm going to throw the rapid fire segment at you.
Talk
Are
to
you
me.
ready?
I'm ready.
He's like, talk to me. I love your
ready.
energy. I can't wait to hear this. Okay, let's go. Describe your HBCU experience in one word. One word. Phenomenal. I love that. If your time in college was a song, what song would it be?
Ambition by
Who's-
Wale.
Ambition by Wale.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted to tell your college roommate that you didn't? You busted out laughing. I love it.
That I didn't tell him?
That you didn't tell
That
him.
I didn't tell him?
That you didn't. It looks like you told him a lot, but
Bro,
what
I
did you
used
not
to-
tell him?
I told him everything for real, so he already know, but I used to take a piece of gum before I go to class every day from his drawer. He don't know that.
He doesn't know that. I
And
love that
that's my
answer.
best friend, so he really know everything. I give him all the kudos, and we gonna end up talking about him later. I'm telling
Okay.
you, but
I love it. I love
we used
it.
to be like real hygiene. We was up on hygiene, and when I used to run out of gum, I used to go ahead and take one from his. So he gonna.
You were a
find- he gonna
football
watch it.
player who was looking for girls to do your work for you. So
No,
on
I
a
didn't.
scale,
I said tutor. Let's not do that. Let's get it right. I said tutor. I did my own work.
he did his own work, tutor. On a scale of 1 through 10, you walked into that one though with your earlier comments. You did.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
On a scale of 1 through 10, how good of a student were you?
Oh, I was a good student. Even in high school, I went to a private high school,
Okay.
and where I played ball, and my mama was like, "I'm not paying for C's" type of thing. So I had to be on my P's and Q's. Now I will say, when I did get to Morehouse, I was playing football and I was traveling.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that was new to me.
Yes.
So after that first semester, I realized I couldn't, because once you get into a flow of school, you kind of know what you're doing. In the high school, I got into a flow where I was just able to do my thing, right? But I tried to do my thing, my high school thing in college my first semester, and I got an awakening like, yo, you got to get this up. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick these grades up type of thing. Because like I said, I was traveling and I was just doing the bare minimum.
Dasan,
right?
give yourself a score. I want to hear it.
What? My GPA?
Scale of 1 through 10. No.
Oh, what?
Scale of 1 through 10. How good of a student were you?
Good of a student? I was a 7.925.
I can't with these points, but I love them.
that was valid though. I would say okay, my college accumulative GPA was a 3.45.
Yes.
So I guess whatever you think, and I got that.
I like the 7 point. Listen, I'm the queen of those points.
For sure.
So to meet somebody else who's giving me a 7.925 when I ask for a scale of 1 through 10, I actually absolutely love it. Okay.
I hustled though, so I gotta go 8.259.
8.259.
I hustled in college for real. Yeah, I gotta go 8. I can't do myself.
8.259. Lord have mercy. 8.259. That's pretty much an 8.3. Okay. We literally ate up all the time on the rapid fire, but I always ask one more question. You've already given your one of the coaches a shout out, but I do want to know, who would you shout out as your favorite person on Morehouse's campus?
That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That's
tough.
Too tough. It's so many, male role model figures that come through there and that you're going to connect with at
That's
once.
beautiful.
Everybody brings something different to the table for the most part.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's really tough, but
No
I
worries.
have to give a shout out to Andre Patillo again, because he was the connecting reason on how I ended up getting in there. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
without him, I wouldn't have been able to meet everybody else. So
Absolutely. I'll take it. I'll
yeah,
take it.
we gotta
All
go.
right. I want to hear about this best friend story. Go for it.
Which one?
The best friend that you used to steal his gum.
Oh, and my first roommate. Okay, so my first roommate, my boy Kevin Phillips, KJ Phillips. Let's go. I shout out to you. The second, you got to throw the second in there because man, that's my dog. So we met on our official visit together, and right off rip, we clicked. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, this cool. Like, I have to say, we have never argued. We might have debated about a couple things, but like as far as like a heated anything or even like tussle with each other, like never. We always on the same path with each other, and we so goofy together, and we played football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was one of the top recruit. He was the top recruit coming into Morehouse. A linebacker. He was ESPN 300. He was doing his thing, and I got recruited as an athlete, so I didn't know where I was going to play at when I first came in. We both ended up playing football defense together, and just being on the field at the same time and just being goofy after practice. Sometimes we'll go to practice 5 a.m, not even brush our teeth, just throw the shoes on, run straight to the field. It get like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guy. I love him. And we even together today, like, I don't know if we going to talk about the school stuff. I'm jumping a little ahead, I guess.
Go for it.
But
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
he was the one that he the reason that I'm at the particular school that I be at and doing the stuff with the kids. I'll be in the room with him most of the time, and I got to give him a shout out on the Black History videos that we do, because me and him be coming up with the rhymes together. And so, like I said, that's my guy for real.
So Dason, let's talk about it officially. So Dason is an actor as well as a sub teacher.
Yeah.
And what he is referring to is what has become viral, I always get it wrong.
The Blackronyms. Different. Hold on, that's different though. That's with a different roommate.
That's a different roommate.
Yeah. So okay. We go get to the Blackronyms. What I'm referring to is the Black History videos we've been doing. We've been teaching the kids about prominent figures in Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Mae Jemison. You see what I'm saying? And we was doing that. That's what I'm referring to. Boom, right there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you guys do it in
falls under the umbrella of Blackronyms, essentially.
Okay. So the actual videos, this is KJ Phillips, is it second or third?
The second.
This is KJ Phillips, the second.
Yeah.
The two of you come up with that, the rhymes or the rap that you
come
use.
up with the rhymes and who to do, together right there on the spot right there.
I have a question for you.
What's up?
Why not do it all year round?
Why not do what?
So typically you do these things during Black History Month, and I get it. I'm one of those strong believers that I do not feel we should be relegated to celebrating Black history during Black History Month. Yeah. So just out of curiosity, I'm not saying you should, out of curiosity, why not do it all year round?
Yeah, so
you're Black all year round, I'm Black all year round.
Yeah, and the students Black all year round too. The school that I'm at is 99.9%, Black folks. So it's not even that. It's just this is how the videos start. I just started doing the videos during that month.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. I've been at the school for 2 years now. Yes. So a lot of people be like, "Oh, he just making these videos, da da da." Nah, I've been at the school. I just wanted to showcase the kids in a different light.
Absolutely.
Just to talk about the school stuff a little bit, they had, when I first came into school last year, or I guess last school year, you see what I'm
22, 23? 23, 24.
23, 24 school 23, year. 24. Yeah. When I first came in there, they would, like, as soon as I came in, I'll be walking in the halls and a lot of kids would be like, "Oh, I know you from TikTok. You be doing the Blackronyms," or you see what I'm saying? Or they would already know me. And so in that first year, I was just building a relationship with them,
Absolutely.
Make them comfortable, make them be able to allow them to be able to come to me and look at me like a big cousin. I call them my little cousins because, you know, I'm not old or nothing like that. But, you know, but anyway, so that year, that's what happened there. And so this school year, as a reward, I told them, all right, we'll make a video if y'all do this. You know what I'm saying? Now I got that relationship. And so we was making funny videos in the beginning, but then once Black History Month came around, I wanted to flip the narrative to show that like we're also intelligent and we know what we're doing as far as the Black History Month. I mean, as far as our history.
Our
And I
history.
really coming into this second half of the year, I noticed the type of influence that I had on the kids, and I just wanted to be able to show, you know, I wanted to be my motto for this year is to be just straight genuine and intentional with everything I do. You know what I mean? So I said, okay, let me show them that we can showcase the kids in a good light,
Absolutely.
and just I might be doing a video with these group of kids right here, but there's so many kids around the world, or you know, around that watch the videos that can learn and just, you know, have fun with learning. You got to make learning fun, and so that's what we've been doing with it.
I'm gonna come back to blackronyms.
Yep.
Do you know what I want to keep on saying? In my
What?
brain, I keep
What?
saying blackonomics.
Black
I don't know why. I don't know why.
not
I don't know why. It's blackronyms, but my brain keeps wanting to say blackonomics.
for sure.
Maybe somebody's gonna take that on and do
Black
something with it.
acronyms, we put it together and
I
made it.
know, I know. It's so simple. So don't
No,
ask me why
I
my
feel
brain is
you.
saying blackonomics. I don't know.
I definitely understand.
I want to come back to that, but it's very clear, anyone listening to you, that as light and fun and engaging as you are, you care about education, and it's why you're doing a lot of the things that you're doing. Also, why you are spending as much time as you are spending with your little cousins, as you like to
Great,
call
great,
them.
great.
If you've noticed over the last year or so, we're hearing more and more of the statistics that Black males enrolled in college, the numbers literally are just decreasing.
Man,
Now, Morehouse College doesn't get to experience that
right,
because of
right.
the population that you serve, but Howard University is in the news because of it.
Really?
Entities like Morgan State University as well as North Carolina A&T are actually putting together task forces to try to address it. I want your take on a couple of things. The why. You're a young Black man who, based on your family, you were going to go to college. At
Right,
least that's where you were being steered to.
right.
I do not know if any of these task forces that we're talking about at all these different institutions are going to actually go deep and ask the very young men that they want to see in these spaces. I don't know if they're going to ask them, what are your top 3 reasons why you are not picking college as the next step?
Right.
I want you're with them. What do you think the reasons are that we're noticing this decline? And I just want you to give me top 3 reasons why you think young Black men, especially, are not choosing
Hmm.
college after high school.
Hmm. Young Black men, especially, that's tough. Honestly, like you said, my experience with that was a little different. So
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say that I didn't even know that that was a, you know, so much of a thing
Yeah.
to not want to, you know, that the numbers were decreasing like that. But I will say, as far as a reason, man, the way the world is going nowadays, everything is kind of doing a shift, and I feel like history tends to repeat itself as far as like the waves of which things are happening. I feel like right now we're in such a different time as far as the ways to make money and
Mm,
how much, you know, the economy is being hit right now. Everything is expensive. College
yeah.
is expensive, right?
Extremely.
It's expensive, especially to go to an institution like a top college, or, you know, it's with no help or loans and everything. People are trying to worry about, you know, how to make money. And
Mm,
I would say social media is playing a big part of, you know, shaping the culture on how to make money. Because a lot of people go get on social media and be like, you can see a millionaire right here that's an entrepreneur
Yeah.
that didn't even touch college,
Yeah.
right? And so I feel like a lot of people right now are trying to shift in a way where they can just, become entrepreneurs and not have to work a steady 9 to 5, which there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. But I feel like once COVID hit, it kind of shift the focus of, nah, I want to. I had good time being at home and just doing how I felt I wanted to do versus having to go into an office for 8+ hours a day and spend my time there and not live life as much there. So I feel like people are trying to become more entrepreneurs and build it up that way. Um, that's just kind of my take on it and how I feel about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just kind of what I see in front of me right now today.
So for someone who started off saying, I didn't even know the numbers were
Right.
like that, you have literally, so I consider myself one of the luckiest human beings in the world.
Okay.
I am. A, because I'm in my own skin. That's A.
Right. Talk to him. Come on, Melanie. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I love being in my own skin. So that's A. But B, I choose to be in a college campus every single day,
Right on.
talking to young minds every single day, and not correcting the opinion of those young minds every single day. I love it. Why am I bringing that up? I just asked you to give me what you think the top 3 reasons are. And guess what, Dasan? You've given me the reason that almost every single young male that I get to speak to. So we get kids coming to our campuses for college tours every single spring semester, sometimes in the fall as well.
Okay.
And they don't know that I'm a professor on campus. They don't know that I'm an administrator on campus. So I just talk to them. They think, who's this weird little lady that's just walking around with us? I love that because then they're honest with me. And I ask them, how many of you are actually going to come and enroll? And, you see some of the guys, like, you could tell that they were forced to be on this college tour. So they're just there. And so I will, get to the back and just start talking to them. And no lie, 9 out of 10 times, they bring up exactly what you just brought up.
Really?
9 out of 10 times.
Really?
It's the money. It's the money.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, they're like, why would I do this and go in debt when I'm going to try my luck? I'm not saying I'm going to succeed, but I'm going to try my luck. And just for the record, not all of them are planning on trying their luck on social media. For a good number of them, they just want to try their luck at making money in so many different ways to sustain themselves because they see all of us talking about how expensive everything is, and they see all of us complaining about how this 9 to 5 that college is planning and training you to get into isn't quite affording them the lifestyle that they would rather have.
Right.
So for somebody who's like, listen, I didn't even know that was a thing and I don't even really know, you gave the exact same reason that they have been giving, that I truly hope that for all of the universities that are doing these task forces, ask them. Because if they ask them, they're going to get this very similar response. And I'm hoping it might change the way they're approaching what the answer or the solution would be. Right. I'm going to be unfair to you, Dasan, and I know this is an unfair question. What do you think the solution should be? Based on the answer you just gave, what could the solution be?
The government making college free.
That part.
I mean, it sounds good to me, like
that part.
You got to get folks to want to go there.
Yeah.
You got to make it appealing, and free sound appealing to me every time.
Or at least utterly affordable.
There you go.
Utterly affordable.
There you go. I think that, the cost back in the day, let's say let's just say the 60s, right? I think because we did something, we seen the calculations and it was like a couple $100, you know? And a couple $100 sound great now, but we talk about 50, we talk about a year's salary. We talk about people's salary for a year, 4 years of that.
Yeah.
If you want to do the basics, 4 years of just people's salary, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I hope they listen to you. They have not been listening to those of us who've been saying you've got to make this thing affordable. Otherwise, I don't see how it's going to change.
Hello.
So let's hope they listen to you. Okay, I want to get back to See, I was about to say Blackonomics again.
Blacker it's all good. We're gonna get
Chosen,
it down.
what is wrong with you?
Good. We good.
Okay, Blackronyms. Tell us about it. For those who haven't seen it, tell us what Blackronyms are, and tell us why it's become something that a lot of people love.
Right. So Blackronyms came about when I was with my second college roommate.
There we go.
Whitney came the second. Gotta throw the second in there.
All of them are seconds. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
That's my boy, and man, he's like, we was both creatively like on the same thing. So we was like, one day, I don't know, we was just like, by this point, I was already going up on TikTok by this point. I think I had like 400K followers at that point. And we was just having fun doing improv games with each other. And we was doing ABC stories. Like we would tell a story, but the first word had to be the alphabet. You see what I'm saying? That's an improv game. And these are just games that I was learning in acting class. You know what I mean? But then one day I was like, bro, we should do Black phrases. We should do phrases that's like in the Black household and have people try to guess type thing. Like, and so he was like, all right, bet, let's do it. Like he always like, all right, bet, let's do it. Like trying to call me on my bluff. And I was like, all right, bet. So we literally did the first video, and the first video went for like 15 mil in like 3 days. So once we seen the traction with that, we was both like, yeah, bro, we got to make this a series type of thing. And we probably did about 60 videos of just Black phrases and having the audience guess. And like people was really, gravitated towards these videos. I went from like 400K to $1 million in like 3 weeks, wow. 2.5 weeks, and like I was like, okay, cool, we got something with that. So then by the time I stepped into the school, they was like, oh, I know you. I know you. And I would be like, no, you don't. That's my cousin. I always tell them, like, I was telling them that was my twin cousin for the whole first year, and they was going. I couldn't run with it no more. They was like, nah, because he got the same earrings as you, the cut in his eyebrow, the hair thing. I know that's you. And then finally, like one day, I let it rock out. But yeah, so after that, like that's how we came up with Blackronyms, and we was just rocking out with that. And I'll post a Blackronym today, and people be like, oh, y'all gotta bring these back, Yeah. And so yeah, that's how Blackronyms came about.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Sure. I wanna ask you a fun question. It's fun to me. Everyone does not know this, but while we were setting up this recording, I did not see the full frame above your head, and I had asked you, "What's the full frame above your head?" And then I get to see that it's Tupac Shakur. Yeah. And anyone who knows me, like knows me way back in college, that was my guy.
That's your guy?
That's my guy. Like I was one of those, so we're going to caveat for 2.5 seconds. I was one of those human beings that for at least 10 years running, you could not tell me that he had passed away. He was somewhere in the Bahamas. Absolutely. Yeah. That's how crazy I am.
I believe
that. I was like, nah, no, Tupac. No, he's not dead. There's just no way. It's not possible. Not Tupac. No. Word. What's your favorite Tupac song?
Song or a movie?
Ooh, you're a movie guy. You're an actor. Yeah. Go with, let's see if you're going to give me the obvious one. Okay. Go ahead. What's your favorite movie?
What you think?
I guess where he was from correctly.
Off rip. That's
like
crazy.
Literally.
Nobody ever. Come on.
I guess where you were from. Okay. I think it's Poetic Justice.
No.
Okay.
Juice.
Juice. Okay.
That's my
Okay.
number two.
Okay.
That's my number
Okay.
two. I love Juice. Juice or House
Okay.
Party, but House Party not Tupac. But as far as my list of movies, I love Juice. That's my thing. Yeah, Tupac is just like the way that he carries himself, the way that he speaks. He's that guy, or he was the short time that we got to experience him for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just dope. It's just dope being able to see how his interviews and how he presented himself as a young man.
Yeah.
Um,
Had a
he
lot
just
to say.
he
Had a
had a
lot.
lot
Something
to say.
tells me that if he had lived longer, I don't think he would, if he would, I don't know or think that he would have gotten into politics,
Yeah,
but he would probably be one of our most vocal civic engagement
absolutely,
activists. Like he
absolutely,
had a voice and he wasn't afraid to use it. And I appreciated that about him. I
absolutely.
want to shift to Will Packer. You mentioned him earlier on,
Yes,
and you mentioned his book.
yes.
As you know, he is also an HBCU alum, and
FAMU.
I am,
Yeah,
yes, the FAMU, the
we love our little
Rattlers.
cousins for sure.
Yes, not these little cousins, not these little cousins. Um, if and I'm sure the day, if it hasn't already happened, will happen soon enough. You being in the world of theater and acting, what would you want to say to Will Packer? What's your message? I mean, and I have to mention him because of Stomp the Yard that you mentioned earlier
Right,
on, you just reading his book.
right.
I don't want to assume, but it sounds as if there is an inspiration that he has given you. So I'm curious, what would you love to say to Will Packer?
It's actually funny though. Well, it's not necessarily funny, but I think it's dope because I actually just finished his book yesterday, and Who Better Than You, and it was great. Honestly, just hearing his story, like I I heard as I'm reading back to myself, right, as I'm comprehending like a lot of myself and him and how he came up, type of thing. He hustled. Him and his best friend at the time, Rob Hardy, they really came through, and he says there's nobody that's going to be able to out hustle me, because there's only one room for one top spot, essentially, and that's mine. And he's driving
Mm,
he's driving from state to state to promote his movie, his Chocolate City, which he did at FAMU at the time. And then he's inviting big execs. There's a phrase that we use, or that I got while I was at Morehouse, by one of my venture capitalist professors. His name is Rashawn Williams. He's also and Will Packer actually mentions this in his book. He is one of the three uh, limited owners of the Falcons, alongside with Will right now, right?
mm,
He was my professor, and a phrase that he says is, we don't say fake it till we make it anymore. You see what I'm saying? We say act as if you're already that CEO, act as if you're already that doctor, that teacher, that lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing the things that these top dogs would do in their situation, so that when you do get there, it's not nothing foreign to you. You see what I'm saying? So that's how Will kind of was already acting as he was, driving towards his goal. And so to hear and to read how his story was coming about, man, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to work with this guy in the future for sure. I already technically have already worked with him on the movie Praise This that he did with Chloe Bailey. I was a feature background actor on that, and it was one of the first things that I had, the first big sets that I had stepped on. And he'll just walk past sometimes and just look at me and give me a little head nod type of thing. You know what I mean? And this is the executive producer. He don't gotta look nobody way, but you know what I'm saying? When you take the time and you love the craft and you're just a genuine person, he said what's up to me, and I got the opportunity to my last day of filming. I got to chop it up with him just real briefly, and I told him like, yo, I'm coming. And since then, I built myself up thus far, and to be able to, when he see me next time and that audition come through, he gonna have to see about me for sure. That's all I gotta say. Cause we done worked our credits up since then. And yeah. So yeah. I mean, Will Packer's a great guy just because I love his hustle and his drive and the way that he came from an HBCU, a prominent one such as FAMU, and did what he did what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Dasan Onyx Frazier, I have enjoyed every single minute of this conversation with you.
I appreciate you.
I really have. I always ask this. Is there anything that you're like, okay, Tosin, I know we had this lovely conversation, but I still wanted to share X?
Yeah. Just to talk on the acting piece and not say too much because this is a big year for me.
Nice.
Just some stuff that Tyler Perry Straw comes out starring Taraji P. Henson, Sinbad, Glenn Turman, Tiana Taylor, you know what I'm saying? Sherry Shepherd. There's so many big hitters on that. That's coming out. I got the opportunity to work on that movie and to be able to be in the room, and not only in the room with Tyler Perry, but have him direct me. That was such a welcome to the league moment for me.
That's beautiful.
We did that last summer, and it should be coming out sometime this summer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, that I'm so excited for that one because that was like I said, a welcome to the league, and to be able to go or to be on screen with some of these, big dogs in the industry. It was like, oh yeah, I know I'm supposed to be here because I felt confident with what I was doing. From that to I heard that Miss Pat season 5 is gonna be a great one. I heard it's gonna be nice. That comes out on BET. I also heard that Beyond the Gates daytime soap opera on CBS is a good one so far. I just got back from New York last week. The end of last week, I was filming a network television, a big one. That was probably my biggest role so far out there. That's gonna be coming out beginning of June or something. So it's been a great year, but I just want to continue to build on what's going on. So I know y'all don't really know me yet, but I hope this was a great introduction to Dasan
Absolutely.
Frazier. If y'all don't know now, y'all gonna see very soon. And I'm just humbled to be here, and I appreciate you spending time with me and chatting with me for this period of time. Yeah.
Dasan, I appreciate you. So podcasts that feature guests can't happen unless a guest says yes.
Word.
So every yes, I'm appreciative of. And so thank you for saying yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having this conversation with us. As you evolve into what is going to become an amazing star someday,
Amen.
I do hope and pray that there's just this part of the Dasan that I got to spend time with that remains. I know you're going to evolve into an even more amazing human being, but I hope this core of who you are also remains.
Absolutely.
I know for a fact that it is absolutely impossible that people came to this particular episode, watched it today, and didn't go ahead and love it because of you, and subscribe to I Love My HBCU ? Because of you.
Sure. Thank you.
But end the episode for us, Dasan. Why do you, Dasan Onyx Frazier, love HBCUs?
Oh man, I love HBCUs because it helps shape me into a confident leader, role model. I got the opportunity to spend the best 4 years of my life being a majority in a world where they look, it's different, being outside of them gates. So HBCUs, no matter where you go to, we all fam, you know what I mean? So just pick the one that's right for you, to do your research. Make sure it got your major and go ahead and attack it every day. I love the game.
I love it. Even though he calls the rest of us his little cousins, because Morehouse gets an 11 point something out of 10, 11.2 out of 10. Dasan, thank you. I love you for spending this time with me. Yours in HBCU love. See you next episode.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU ? Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.